Okay, well, I had my assistant help me. She cranked the key to the start position while I listened, and I could hear the injectors firing both using a remote starter when it's in the on position and when without the remote using the start key turning to the start. So I'm confident that the injectors are firing at least on that particular time, which doesn't mean anything because sometimes it starts right up perfectly fine. So it doesn't mean I've solved the problem. It's one of the problems of chasing the intermittent. I'd rather it fail completely than you can diagnose it. Just for the heck of it, I said it started. I mean, it was ticking just fine. So let's see how quickly it starts up. See, it doesn't want to start now. I'll try it again. There it goes. Okay. So actually, that was pretty normal. I mean, if it started like that every time, I'd have no issue. And in that case, it actually started on the second attempt with the key in the start position, which meant obviously the injectors were firing, everything's good to go. So it's just another intermittent. Have to check it, keep hoping that someday it may fail completely, or I'm pretty sure it's not the fuel relay. I've looked at that circuit to see what's going on, and again, I think it pretty much, in my opinion, has to be the fuel injectors not firing in the start. It's the only thing that makes any sense. The problem is trying to catch that when it's happening. I guess what I could do is actually trace the wiring from the start circuit and see if I can't, rather than actually trying to start the car and listen to injectors, all that, try it by hooking up a continuity test to it, I suppose, and seeing if I can make an intermittent by jiggling the key or doing anything weirdness like that. That'll be a lot more involved because obviously I have to trace the wiring from the initial switch back to the battery. I suppose I could find the circuit, the on wire from the ignition switch, disconnect the battery, do a continuity test between the positive lead of the battery and that, and obviously in the start I should see continuity, and in the run I should see continuity, and there should be no breaks in that transitioning between the two. I might do that. Have to see how hard it is going to be to interpret the wiring from the underneath the steering wheel, get to the harness and all that. But that's the only real. And the beauty of doing that, the reason I want to do it with the continuity test, especially with the tone on this thing here, you have the tone test here where you can actually hear continuity, that way. By doing that, looking for it that way, it's a more reliable test to try to capture an intermittent. You can just kind of be screwing around with the key and touching it and banging on it and seeing if you can make that circuit open up when you turn it to the start position. See if you can force the on or the run position to open up. I think that's the only reliable way to do it at this point, because like I said, this is just hit or miss. Will I catch it at the right time? Who knows? Anyway, a lot of talk, no action. Sorry about that, but I'm just trying to talk through the diagnosis process. This is how you have to do things. You can't just start replacing parts. That's never the way to go. More later.